Here I'm going to sculpt a small clay head. So I've got a ball of clay and I'm trying just to smooth it and make it an oval shape on here. Once I've done that, about 3/4 of the way down, I'm going to squeeze an area to kind of create a neck, head and shoulder area on here. Once I've got this, I'm smoothing kind of my clay into shape and pushing the clay to get kind of a smooth head shape and kind of a neck and shoulders on here. Once I've got this and I'm kind of ready to get started on here, I'm going to just add a little bit of clay to stabilize it, make it a little bit wide at the bottom, make sure it's standing up properly. And once I've got this, I'm just going to add a little bit of build up here to put the chin. Then about halfway through, I'm going to push my thumbs in to kind of create the eye socket for my sculpture on here. Once I've got the eye socket, I'm going to create 2 little balls that just fit in kind of those holes that I've shaped on here. And put the eyes in the socket on here. So now I've got the eyes and the eye socket on here. As you can see, the eyes are bulging a little bit. So I'm going to put the pupil in and then I'm going to create some eyelids on there. To create an eyelid, I'm rolling a little ball and flattening it with my thumb, creating a circle. Then I just put a line through to cut in half and put 1 eyelid at the top and 1 eyelid at the bottom, being careful to kind of smooth it a little bit on here. My eyelids are a little bit too big, but I'm just going to carry on here. Second eyelid and trace a line to split on there and just smooth it down on here just to make sure it covers the eyes in the right place to make my sculpture look more realistic. So once I've got this, just keep smoothing and kind of rearranging the clay a little bit. And with the spare clay, I'm going to model the nose. So I'm trying to model it in a nose shape and see how it fits on the face. So here, it looks like it's too big, so I'm going to make that a little bit smaller, just adding kind of removing some at the front and just pushing it in and removing some areas to make sure it's the right size to kind of fit in there. So more so using a pencil to model here, I'm just adding the nostrils and just really kind of pushing everything in place on here. So once I've done this, I'm just going to use kind of little slugs of clay to create different areas. So here I'm trying to put the mouth on with like a really thin bit of clay rolled out on here and just putting that on there. You can also use the end of your pencil to help you model kind of the clay and just kind of carve lines in there too. So it's really about using your hands to kind of push in where you need to. So here I've got the cheekbones. I'm adding a little bit of clay on the cheekbones, a little bit for the eyebrow as well. Just ear shapes at the side of the head, and now just adding a little bit of clay at the back on here, and I'm just working on adding some kind of sheets of clay to create the hair on here of my sculpture on here. So it's covering the ears ever so slightly and just kind of building it up until I'm happy at the point. So I just need a little bit more at the back on here, and then I'm gonna push a pencil through and create a hole so there's no air pockets in my sculpture and it doesn't explode in the kiln on here. So I'm making sure it's got a hole in it and it's hollow. Then I'm just going to write my name at the base and it's going to be ready to kind of dry out, ready to fire on here.